Hey folks, let's dive right into today's daily Bitcoin update. Fun fact, did you know you can actually record Netflix and post it as a trading view idea? I don't know why you would, but it's possible. Okay, let's do this. Ready? Here we go. Hey folks, welcome to today's daily Bitcoin update. Let's talk about what's happening with Bitcoin today and why it's just what we expected, We predicted that compression would happen continuously for the next upcoming week, and lo and behold, Bitcoin has done nothing but go sideways, as defined by the 110 period, which we will load up right now. This is ridiculous, just how accurate this has been, right? We predicted that the price would trade laterally as defined by the 110 band. Oh my goodness, we revert to the 110 mean as soon as we go inside, and then price just stays inside the band. Look at that, look at this. We get rejected from the top, and we get rejected from the bottom, and we just stay inside, right? It is important to note that mass has sufficiently compressed to allow for price to actually trend outside of this band. However, just because something is possible doesn't mean it will happen. These pivots still can be respected. It is just less likely the darker this color becomes and the more compressed that period gets. So, with all this continuous compression, well, that means that the less mass we have, the less force will be required to start Bitcoin's next move, and the more explosive Bitcoin's next move will be. Think about this, right? What if you are able to look at a Bollinger Band squeeze on every time frame in every period? Okay, that's what we're doing right here. I'm not going to go into the details of how we actually get advanced readings on 3D Wave PM. However, it is important to note that the more blue we have, the more periods are compressed. And the more periods that are compressed, well then the more expansion we'll see all at the same time. And guess what happens when you see net expansion all at once? It results in very significant trending. Okay, I have an excellent example of this. Let's pop to the daily chart and take a look at our Wave PM readings, okay? Guess where the most compression was on Bitcoin? Right at this location, around mid-November, okay? Right? Everything is either green and blue, and then we still have just barely a little bit of volatility overhead in the 3D Wave PM. Then, on the regular Wave PM, all of our values are below the 0.7 value, right? So, guess what happens when you get net expansion? As in this Wave PM cross right here below the 0.4 value. Well, net expansion results in significant trending, okay? So, the more compressed periods we have, the more significant trending will be. It is very important to note, every single period on our Wave PM is below the 0.7 value. That means the next time we see a bout of expansion, we will be doing rather well as far as our next trend goes. Or rather, it will be quite the sustainable trend, if you will, okay? So, what's next? How do we go on from here? Great question. Well, we need to wait for the next expansion to actually occur. And I need 3D Wave PM not to time out. 1 second. Load times on these indicators can be a little long. Okay, beautiful. So we technically still have some volatility overhead on the 1 hour chart as defined by the 200 period. You can see that right through here, right? Because this previous plume is still radiating its mass upward through the higher time frames, it does paint the picture that further compression is needed for those relative periods, at least to get an even more sustainable trend, right? Since I load up the 200 period, you'll notice that because price is bouncing inside the 110 band, it also happens to be respecting the 200, which really slows down its compression when you have it tagging alongside the outer edges like that, okay? So, again, I'm actually going to wait for, hopefully, a little bit more compression on this 14 period. That's going to be our best bet. And once that fully compresses, because we have very low volatility overhead as defined by the 100, the next expansion should result in some net trend, okay? The more periods expand in the same direction, the more mean period volatility develops, the more significant the trend will be, okay? All in all, this is just a really fancy way of saying we don't have the information to make a call on direction at this time, okay? I know, kind of disappointing that we don't get the exact information we need right now, but the most important part of trading is knowing when not to have an opinion. Now is one of such times because, well, you don't want to bet on which way you'll break until you actually break, okay? And I'm not talking about breakout patterns. I'm talking about net expansion, right? So let's think about this, guys. In this instance right here, where we have all this compression, well, as soon as we get our net expansion, every single CCI period weights itself to the downside. Okay, so because we have net expansion, all our periods are firing up, and we're seeing all the 3D wave, or all our CCI periods weighted the same way, that's a very clear indication what trend is going to be. Right? The more CCI periods that weight itself to one side or another, the more significant trend will be. So, actually, let's point this out in the daily chart. We've had several short opportunities with simply the quad CCI strategy as well, right? Since our longer-term CCI periods define trend when they are weighted to the downside, and our 14-period CCI rolls up and back to the downside, that is a short entry signal for us, okay? Think about it like this. Let's say we got a seesaw. And if you've taken my lessons, you should know damn well about my seesaw analogy. And I need something in a ball shape. Perfect. Okay. Let's say this bad boy is our 200 period. Okay. Right? Because it's nice and big and it has a lot of weight. It's all the way on the left side of the seesaw. So the seesaw is going to be tilted to the left side. Okay. And then let's say this is our 100 period CCI. And it's also, boop, weighted all the way over here. So what happens when we get ourselves a 14-period CCI, right? This little blue ball is going to be the 14-period CCI. What if it rolls all the way to this side? Is it going to lift these periods up? No, not really. Well, here's a fun fact. CCI is actually an exponential scale. So actually, this does go on forever. So the leverage of this can actually pull these longer periods over back to the center of data, for instance. So that's one of the uses of quad CCI, but think about this. If we have the 14 period rolling up to this side like so, we're not going to bet that it's going to go back quite yet. However, if it actually starts rolling back towards the center of data, which is all the way over here, that's when we bet that we're going to continue the trend, right? This is just trend continuation. So if a period rolls over here and then it starts to roll back, that's considered continuation of trend. And we've seen that in the quad CCI several times. All right? Because our center of mass is all weighted to the downside with all our periods below the negative 100 value, when our 14 period CCI dips up and then rolls back down, well, that's just a short entry right there, right? And we've had 2 of those short entries, and they would have treated you very nicely, right? And you can actually use this on Bitcoin's bull trends as well. This is really best suited for trend identification and trading. You would have had a great time using it over here during the last bull run, right? Where everything weights itself to the upside, and that 14 period rolls up and catches you at the exact bottoms of these trends, right? Clean stuff, guys. Clean stuff. Okay. That's about it for today's live stream. Or Trading View idea. Sure. It has been a pleasure, and I'll talk to you later. Nice. Set up the comments on my phone, see what you guys are thinking about. Somebody wanted me to look at oil. Just give me a second. Somebody asked me a question. I don't remember on what. There it is. Oil. Ooh, I don't do securities very often, mate. That's just going to give you a heads up. This is not my area of expertise, okay? I mean, of course, mean reversion positions still are very effective in this kind of trading. However, let's actually load up our adaptive MA real quick. Let's see how this treats us. We don't want to be on the 1 hour. Let's go to the daily. Okay. You know, I'm tempted to start spatting off some Wyckoff analysis, but it's not my area of expertise, I'll be honest. Yeah, I guess there is implied mean reversion. However, really, this with basic quad CCI strategies and with the significance of these trends, it would be your best bet to take the rolls, if you will, right? So, for instance, in this area where we have all the positively weighted CCI periods, whenever the 14 dips down and back up, that's going to be your best bet for taking longs. In these kinds of scenarios, it's really just your best bet to do trend identification trades, okay? And, well, our net expansion is to the downside, and we did just have a 14-period CCI roll to the downside. So I am inclined to at least say some short-term bearish expectations, okay? All right, because this selling was very significant, and now we had ourselves the nice relief rally. Trend continuation would be your most reliable bet, though I wouldn't put too large of a position size on this kind of trading, okay? Let's go ahead and check out Riven. Did you guys ever play the Myst series when you were younger? Like the old Mac or the old computer games from back when? They were Myst, Riven, Exile. They were point and click adventures, but they're really hard puzzle games. And you actually had to like keep a notebook, a journal, to write down all your findings in for later and like draw down diagrams. It was way ahead of its time. Okay, sorry. I mean, that's difficult. We just saw a nice mean reversion here. And then, okay. So we will probably see lateral trading as defined by that 40 period, it looks like. 50 period, yeah. Right? So price is probably just going to trade laterally for the next few days between those bands. Other than that, that's all I have. Hey, Jason Smith. Yeah, you have played them. That's pretty cool. They were really good games. Yeah, they were super difficult, especially when I was like 12 years old. They were not made for my demographic. IOST. Actually, I really want to find if there's like a port for it. I want to go ahead and try that game again, see if I'm any better at it. Man, oh man, positively weighted mean period volatility. This was on my radar. I can't believe I didn't. Okay. I guess I can believe that I didn't pick up on it. Okay. Quad CCI strategy is your best bet here. Holy shit. And it looks like we have perfect bounce on. Look how well this is defining trend. That's just ridiculous. Look how ridiculous this is. And a 14-period CCI just rolled up. Yeah, fucking take this. Go for this. Take that long position, you know? Sure, trade the channel. Don't actually take profit on those top resistance lines. That's shit. Right? Trend lines don't stop buying pressure, guys. Remember that. What kind of profit ratio do you have here? 3% downside, 5% upside, 6 maybe. Yeah, 2-to-1 profit ratio. Take this trade. It's good. I like this. How's BNB doing? Oh, motherfucker. I took profit early on BNB. That's my fault. God damn it. I should not have cashed out of this position. Okay, let's figure out why I cashed out of this position. Just kidding. I already know why. Mean reversion was implied. Failed mean reversion. Okay. Buying pressure was stronger. Just waiting for this indicator to load up, guys. Give me a second. It will take a moment. Jesus Christ. What a load time. Okay, let's do it manually. 200 period. This is already set at the 200 period, of fucking course. Okay, that's hilarious. Okay, so I took profit right here because I anticipated reversion to the 200 mean. That failed. And now trend has actually continued without the mean reversion. That's very rare. Yeah, failed mean reversions do not happen often in crypto. I guess this could be a very strong sign of a parabolic move. Okay, well, if you look at it from this perspective, man, oh man. Yeah, that right there. Okay, well, I guess hindsight's 2020. I did the right decision. I took profit where I should have. It's just kind of sad to miss out on further trend. Hey, Cat with George, you played Miss too. That's great. You know, I really want to... Riven was my favorite. I'm going to be honest. It was probably like one of the first video games I ever played. Other than Myst, of course. But it was just those puzzle games. Or rather, the sense of like true exploration and how, like, having to learn the Riven alphabet to decipher codes. And then you had to use like a topographical map to figure out like the correct locations of a 2x2 coding system. It was ridiculous. Okay. It was Ubisoft, right? I'm pretty sure it was Ubisoft. Hey, Cat with Church, do you ever want to like stream with me one day where we just like both get on and just talk about trading? That would be pretty fun, actually. We should try that out sometime. As I sit here and look at BNB, my shame. This is so annoying, right? If you have like an overexpanded 50 band and you go inside the 50 band, you expect reversion to the 50 mean, and it didn't happen. Ugh, it's just disgusting. The strategy fails very rarely, and this is one of the times where it did. DLT still running. God damn. We had an opportunity to... Okay. I don't want to talk about that. I'm going to look at one more chart. I was going to do something I want, and I'll be on my way. BCH, ABC, because I'm actually in that, so I want to talk about it. Okay. Where did price action go? What did I do? Okay, that was weird. Okay. Yeah, guys, this chart is insane. We're on our secondary re-entry for this. Okay, and here's the reason why. Well, we actually go to the 4-hour chart to better explain this. We had net compression and we had a breakout, right? Because we had sufficiently compressed mass, like all throughout this here, right? And now we're starting to get all this net expansion and everything's weighted to the upside, or at least it was. And now we're retesting the longest overexpanded period. Like, trend continuation is implied. So I've got a pretty hefty position here. I'm just holding on tight, guys. Okay, I actually re-entered on this bounce here, and I anticipated the mean reversion. I didn't stop out because I'm hoping this will bounce because of the net expansion happening. yeah, that's all I got for you guys. That's it for today. Like and subscribe. It has been a pretty good day. I'm going to go hiking again. It's snowy as shit. I had to wear like snow pants and snow boots yesterday. It was pretty good. I should have called an XRP short, and I just realized that. Right where we had... It was right around here where we started seeing this net expansion with everything weighted to the downside. Right? It was actually this candle right here where we predicted that a new downward trend would begin. Although it has been much more gradual than I have anticipated, I'll be honest. I expected something a lot more violent. Ooh, also guys, you need to check out this trading view idea. Okay? This bad boy right here, 1,800 views, it's pretty nice. But I do a write-up with a lot of the terminology I use on my streams. So go to my trading view ideas, find this guy, and it will be very educational for you folks. Go ahead and give it a look, okay? All right, been a pleasure. See you guys. Have fun.